We are in an undisclosed location in Japan. For obvious reasons, we can't say where we are, but we can say that this is a top rank warehouse.
Indeed it is, and it's filled. I don't think there's much space left.
For those of you guys who don't know, Top Rank is an importer. They actually import Japanese vehicles all over the world, but they do a lot of importing to the US. They do legalizing, they do so much stuff, right? So I actually bought my AH3 red 1990 R32 GTR from Top Rank, as well as many other YouTubers, as you guys know, Dustin Williams being one of them. With that said, I've never actually had a chance to see the source of these vehicles.
Yeah, so this is the Japan side of the operation. Well, the storage of the Japan side of the operation. It's a big operation, and these guys do it so well. As you will see, there's a lot of cars here. I think the majority of them obviously are here for storage, waiting for that, 25-year to hit. Yeah, it's overwhelming.
It really is, especially for two big GTR nerds like myself and Dino. I mean, this is just one row. Forget about the fact that we literally just walked outside through rows and rows of S15s, R34s, Evos.
Everything.
Everything you can think of.
Stages.
Any dream car you can think of is here. It's a JDM dream car. So my guess is they gather these throughout Japan with auctions, private sellers.
Yeah, also private sellers, because you can tell that they're really looking for the good stuff. Like we saw a couple of S15 spec cars with stock wheels and stock ride height. You just don't see that these days, unless you really specifically know where to go look for them. So they definitely know where to go and find the good stuff.
Yeah, because there is a place for the modified vehicles, right? You got somebody like Andy Gray at Power Vehicles who specifically looks out for the ones that are tastefully modified,
exactly, yeah.
And they will be driven hard. Many of these will become collector cars because a lot of these are stock, and the fact that they have stock wheels,
yep.
So many stock wheels, so many stock interior, all that. There's some modified ones, but this is the cream of the crop. This is as crazy as it gets in terms of GTR heaven. This is the row that blows my mind, Dino.
Yeah, I'm just going straight for the Midnight Purple 3.
Yeah, okay. So tell us about this.
So yeah, the Midnight Purple 3 was a very limited edition color that was offered on the flip over from the Koki to the Zenki. Sorry, the Zenki to the Koki rather. And it's a slightly lighter flip purple, so it gets better reflections. You can see like how it just flips so naturally.
Right.
And it came with lighter colored stock wheels, and then that color is also matched on the spoiler blade.
Right, so the normal stock wheel is this kind of gray, right?
Yeah.
And then
the spoiler would be
and the spoiler would be this. But I love that we're just glossing over, like look at all of these. What's the name of the color?
Millennium Jade.
Millennium Jade.
Yeah.
We have 3 of them here. These are pretty much what, like $500,000 each now?
The Nurs, yeah.
And then this is probably even more because there was only 300 of these.
I don't know, it depends on the market. I'm not really informed, but I'm sure it will be way higher than a regular 34 would be just because of the coloring and how rare it is.
And what I really like about this one is that it hasn't been changed, right? It has the stock wheels. It doesn't even have spacers or anything.
Completely stock, except for an exhaust and some minor things. But you may see a Midnight Purple 3, but it's usually with different wheels. I think most owners would probably save these in the garage somewhere and just put something aftermarket.
For those of people who are wondering, why is it that there's not a million 3-car stackers here? Very, very simple. This is a question that I asked. The answer is we're in Japan. And even while we were here, we felt however many earthquakes, I don't even know.
Well, up in Fukushima, we felt a pretty interesting one yesterday. And I mean, you do see people using stackers, but it's an added risk. And when you're storing this kind of value of car, that's a risk most people are not prepared to take. And I'm sure insurance-wise, it would cause issues. So just go for size.
Gone are the days where you could find an affordable R32, R33, and R34 GTR. I remember you were telling me just a couple years ago, you can get one for about 10,000 US for like a R32.
It would probably be like 12, 13 years ago. Like I remember I had a lot of friends in the military back in the day, and late 2000s, they were picking up 32s for like 10, 15 grand. And yeah, those days are well over.
Yeah, and also for those of you guys who are wondering why is it that Dino knows so much about the GTR, well, he is one of the few left in the world that has a single owner R34 GTR 1999.
March 99.
Bayside blue. And it's gone through so many different transformations. Right now it's green. It's wrapped green.
It's wrapped. I would never paint it.
Yeah, but it's something that, it was pretty much my first R34 experience coming here to Japan, I think well over 10 years ago. Dino took me around and we did a lot of shooting around that trip. But it was interesting to kind of experience Japanese car culture in the fullest, in the best way. And now, after all these years, these things have become almost unobtainable.
The whole thing about the GTR before the 35 came is that it was the affordable supercar, the affordable, car that people could kind of work hard and eventually be able to afford it. But the 35 brought higher prices, which kept escalating, and then the T-Spec we're driving today is like 140 grand, and it's just not really what the GTR was originally supposed to be. So these cars are pretty much tenfold what that is today.
Yeah, so we've been driving around in essentially what is the last version of the R35 GTR, the best version, known as the T-Spec, in Millennium Jade. And the crazy thing is, it's a top-end vehicle, 140 grand. Most of these vehicles in this lot are worth just as much or double or
more,
triple that, which is just so crazy.
M-Spec Tuner, that would be, what, $500,000 now?
The crazy thing also is I do remember just a couple years ago, you were writing articles about the rising prices. And I think it was like a groundbreaking story when something like this was going for 200 even.
Yeah.
And
it's never stopped. It's kept going.
It just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. I'm just so blown away just being able to see this. I mean, we can probably spend the time to count the cars that are in here. But again, like I said, this is not all of it. This is just a fraction of what's around this facility. And you know what the craziest fact is? Only 3 of these are left for sale. Every one of these are already sold, and every one of these are either waiting to get exported, waiting for the 25-year mark. They're all going to leave Japan. And actually, another thing I wanted to talk to you about is there like a backlash with the Japanese selling these off and leaving Japan?
Yes and no. I mean, you do come across, GTR owners that are somewhat annoyed that, these cars are leaving Japan. They only made 12,000 R34 GTRs to begin with. So production-wise, it was the fewest of, the 3 of the second generation GTR. So to see so many, I mean, every single car here will be out of the country. It's just almost sad to think about it, but then I think nobody expected the value to go up, and a lot of people are not prepared to kind of keep cars that valuable. And especially maintenance-wise, the cost has risen so much that even maintaining these cars is almost too much for some people.
I honestly blame Gran Turismo and just that generation of kind of showing the world how special these vehicles really are and what everyone else was missing out on.
Sure, yeah.
Because they were so far from actually becoming legal or becoming reality, especially in the US, it's just been like holding steady price-wise for so many years. Now they're becoming 25 years old. That's when they're really going up. Once they become legal federally, they will be even more expensive. Just a casual Evo. Any other time that there's a EK9 Civic Type R, or anytime there's an Evo 5 anywhere, I would be just absolutely blown away. But when we're here, they just blend in.
And this car in particular, we've been seeing, how many have we seen in the last couple of days? We saw some at Revolve, some at Andy's place. So this is the 260 RS. It's basically the station wagon version of an R33 GTR. engine and same running gear. So these cars were kind of affordable up until a few years ago, but then, when these started becoming quite prohibitively, expensive, people started looking towards these, and here are two more that are going to be leaving the country.
Yeah, and what's interesting is what I see often is when people actually convert the front end of this to a R34.
To R34, yeah.
Yeah, and actually just outside we saw there was one that was already converted. Underneath, it is essentially a R33 GTR through and through in every way, including the rear steer and everything.
It's got bonnet dampers.
Wow, if I didn't know any better, just looking at it from here, I would think that it is a R33.
It's like your car, same engine basically.
It looks exactly the same. Wow.
32.
Obviously, this portion looks like a R34, the way it lines up here. Is there a lot of modifications that you have to do to put the R34 front end on this?
I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm sure that you have to modify quite a lot,
but it seems like it's such a common thing, you know?
It will probably be more bolt-on than most people would imagine because they're so kind of similar underneath.
In the US especially, I think we're good reflexes. In the US especially, I think we're gonna be seeing a lot more of these.
Yeah.
So this is interesting in that these have been legal for so many years to export, but now they're going up in price even more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these cars in the States, and most, like this one, are not the real deal. They're like, a 2000 GT. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, you have to cancel that. This is the real deal.
This is the real one. This is an S20. This is an S20 engine.
This is an S20, because I looked inside and it said 2000 GT in there, not GTR.
This is a real GTR, and the reason why we know it's a real GTR also is because these are the stock fender flares.
So yeah, it came only with the stock fender flares in the rear.
Yeah.
And then the big difference is the S20.
Of course.
So a 2-liter straight six, which was shared with the Fairlady 432, right?
This is interesting in that maybe when they were replacing some of the interior, they couldn't find the GTR bits and they put 2000 GT stuff.
Or maybe it said 2000. Like, I'm not too familiar with these cars, but you get to see so many even at Daikoku, and they all have the GTR badge, but they're not.
So in this condition, this is like it was like daily driver or barn find condition. With just a couple hours of elbow grease cleaning this up, this would look like a brand new car.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not doing too well now, but a bit of TLC, you can get it.
I'm guessing these aren't stock wheels, but...
No, these are Watanabes, or at least Watanabe-looking wheels.
Look how cool this is. It says the firing order here.
Yeah.
Right? So 432 is...
And to see one with the stock airbox.
4 valves, 3 carburetors, 2 cams.
Exactly, twin cam.
Twin cam.
So, back in the day, in the same generation, you would have had the L series. So it was a single cam. So to have a twin cam in, 69 when it came out was a big deal.
I'm just glad it has a Mr. Strong battery. This is so cool. Look at the headers. I'm guessing those are the stock headers. So yeah, for those of people who don't know, you have to push that button to put the hood down. Otherwise, you would destroy the hood.
Yeah, I'm not touching cars like this.
Yeah. But look at this. Stock air cleaner. Absolutely amazing. So good. So good. Oh my God. This is number 344.
But since we're still talking about older cars, let's check this one out.
Oh yeah, so this is a short nose Hakko, right?
So yeah, this has the coolest interior. This is so Japanese. Lace.
This is,
I think it's closed, but if we're able to open it later, maybe get a whiff of that 70s goodness.
Right. Doilies, that's what we call them in the US.
Doilies?
Doilies. But lace, yeah, they love their lace, especially in the taxis, huh?
Yeah. Taxis or anybody over the age of 70 will have that in their cars. And it's crazy, like you could still buy like a Lexus LS, and if you go through the options list, you'll have the lace package for your seats and whatnot.
I like this, look. It says halogen. That's so cool. I love this color, but also the fact that it's short nose. This is the only second short nose I've ever seen.
And there's another cool thing down here.
Oh,
So we were talking about stock wheels earlier on, and you know, I'm one that really regrets selling my stock 34 wheels.
Yeah, so before
Ages
people
ago.
make fun of you for selling your stock wheels, like, this is what we do. This is what I do for every one of my cars. Once I got my A90 Supra, those wheels were just to transport the vehicle to me so I can change them out, you know? Otherwise, that's just the way it is. I don't know. I mean, you get a stock vehicle and you want to modify it right away. And so that's what you've done. But now these are actually worth a lot.
When the car came with these wheels, the offset was wrong. It just didn't look cool. Like, the first thing you wanted to do is get rid of them. And that's what I did. I put C28 ends race in 19 inch. So I went up an inch. And I actually sold my wheels to Andy. And he used them for drifting. So God knows where they are now. But
Andy. But this is cool. You have R34 GTR wheels, Supra. Honda
EK9 or DC2.
Yeah, EK9 DC2. 32, but not GTR.
Yeah.
It looks like. S15. S15 wheels.
I think this was an option wheel maybe for the 32 or 33. Yeah, Otec Japan. 33 wheels. So, did you know that these wheels were made by BBS Japan?
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, those are R33 wheels.
Yeah, 33
Got
wheels,
it.
34. Not sure about the 32 ones.
Yeah, these are 32s, but these are not the GTR ones.
Yeah, I think if you look in the back, maybe there's a BBS stamping somewhere. Or maybe not.
But look at this, just behind you. I didn't even look at this row yet.
I don't know whether to be happy or sad, you know?
Yeah, I couldn't even guess. I couldn't even guess how much everything is worth. But like you said, you know what? I'm actually happy because of the fact that while a lot of these vehicles were loved here in Japan, and I'm sure they were used for daily driver usage or whatever track usage, these are people's dream cars. You know, the fact that people are finally, after all these years, able to obtain their dream car.
Well, they still have to wait for a lot of them.
Yeah.
A few more years.
So me included, you know, like, while I have a R32 already and I have a lot of nice vehicles that were my dream cars that I'm very lucky to be able to own, the 34, S15, you know, it's just the JDM, all the JDM legends. Definitely would love to own one day.
And these are all owned.
Except for three.
Except for three.
Maybe we'll look at those after we're done filming. But I just wanted to thank you for taking us around and just playing your part in keeping car culture alive. So where can people follow you?
So you can follow me on speedhunters.com or my Instagram, Dino_Dalle_Carbonare. I apologize for the long name, but I am Italian.
But where they really should follow you is your YouTube channel.
And yes, I have recently restarted an old YouTube channel that I started like many years ago. It's Through the White Glasses. So I think I'll try and do what you're doing, but yeah, here in Japan. So hopefully, you know, I can get as good as you are and show car culture through my eyes.
Yeah, so if you guys want to follow Dino and if you guys want to learn more about Japanese car culture, I know he did a tour recently on the Nissan Omari factory, right?
That's
the Nismo Omari factory. And yeah, it's just a little more in-depth versus just reading an article. And it is just so much easier to consume that kind of content.
Sure.
So definitely check out Dino's YouTube channel.
Through the White Glasses.
Yeah. If you guys want to see more of this stuff too, definitely check out Dino's YouTube channel. And maybe in the future, I don't know, we'll do some more collabs. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this tour. I don't know what else to talk about, but we'll walk around. If there's anything else, we'll show it.
We have to end it with a nice GTR, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
GTR.